Good morning, my dear students, class 8. Today we are going to discuss about civics chapter number 2, understanding secularism. Okay. So see, if you remember our last chapter, okay, the Indian Constitution, in that we have learned that secularism is a key feature of Indian Constitution. Yes. In that we have seen the basic idea of secularism. Secularism means in Marathi or Hindi we say dharma nirapekshata. Yes, the country whichever treats equally all religions. Okay, all religions. Now what we are going to do is the key feature was that in the first chapter secularism. So in detail we are going to see secularism in detail. In this chapter we are going to discuss, we are going to see. Okay, so what key features we have learned in previous chapter? We have learned about federalism, then we learned about the parliamentary form of government, then we have learned separation of powers, and fourth was fundamental rights, and fifth was secularism. Okay, so in this session, in this chapter, we are going to discuss more about secularism. So shall we start the chapter? Okay. See, if you are Hindu or Muslim and living in a part of United States of America where Christianity is very powerful, suppose you are a US citizen and no one is willing to give you or offer you or rent you their house to you. How would you make you feel if you decided to complain against this discrimination was being held against you? So, and were told you were or you were angry to take two forms. Okay, so which two forms? First, you might react by saying that Christians should get the same treatment in place where Hindus and Muslims. Okay, and this is the form of retaliation, what we can say. Okay, retaliation. Or you might take the view that there should be justice for all. Okay, you may find starting that no one should be discriminated against on the grounds of their religion or religious practice or religious belief. Yes, now see, my dear students, these statements rest on the assumption that all forms of domination related to religion should get end. Okay, should end. So this is the essence, this is the crust, this is the main thing of the secularism. And in this chapter we will read more about secularism. See, history provides, we know that many examples of the discrimination. We have seen the examples of exclusion, persecution, and persecution on the ground of religion. Yes, so you may have read about the Jews. Jews were persecuted in Hitler's Germany, and how the several millions were killed in that. Yes, and now however the Jewish state, okay, the state of the state of Israel, okay, it has own Muslims and Christian minority quite badly treats. Okay, so in Saudi Arabia also, what do we see? That non-Muslims are not allowed to build a temple, yes, or not allowed to build any church, and nor can anyone or they can gather in a public place for to offer the prayer. Yes, in all of the above examples, members of one religious community, either persecute or discriminated against the member of other religion communities. Are you getting my words? Yes. So these act of discrimination take place. Okay, this act of discrimination take place more easily when one religion is given recognition by the other state at the expense Recognition means what we can say, identification. Okay. So what I mean to say, that discrimination take place, okay, discrimination take place more easily when one religion is given official identification by the state, okay. So now see, clearly no one would wish to be discriminated against, yes. So because see, no one wants to be get discriminated because of their religion, or what we can say, religion, not discriminated against any another religion. In India, can the state discriminated against the citizen on the grounds of their religion? Yes. Now we will see what is secularism. Okay. Now we are discussing about the secularism. That the main thing you must know, that what is a secularism. Yes. In the previous chapter we have read about how the Indian Constitution contains the fundamental rights. Yes, that we have seen how the fundamental rights that protect us, how fundamental rights protect us against the state power, and state power as well as against the tyranny of the majority. Yes, tyranny, I mean to say, tyranny means domination. Yes, so the tyranny of majority. The Indian Constitution allows every person, individuals, the Indian Constitution allows individuals the freedom to live by their religious belief, yes, and practice. Now see, in keeping with this idea of religious freedom for all, India also adopted the strategy of separating the power of religion and the power of the state. Secularism refers this separation of religion from the state. Okay, I mean to say, separation of religion from the state. I am talking about Indian state. Okay, so religion should be get separated from the state. Yes. Now why it is important to separate religion from the state? Yes. The most important aspect of secularism is its separation of religion from the state power. This is important. This is important for a what we can say, for a country to function it democratically. Almost all the countries of the world will have more than one religious, yes, more than one religious group living in them. So within these religious groups, there will most likely one group that is in majority. Yes, and if majority religious group has access to state power, when it could quite easily use the power. Yes, they can easily use this power, and financial resources also to discriminate against and to persecute person of the other religions. Yes, so this tyranny of the majority, I am talking about, this tyranny of majority could result in the discrimination. Why there is a need to separate religion from the state? Now see, the most important aspect of secularism is its separation of religion from the state power. So this is the important for a country to function it democratically. Almost all countries of the world will have more than one religious group living in them. Yes, so within these religious groups, these what we can say, that there will be most likely to be one group that is in the majority. Yes, if this majority religious group has access to state power, then it could quite easily use these power and financial resources to discriminate and persecute persons of the other religions. This tyranny of the majority would result in the discrimination. Yes, therefore the tyranny of the majority, yes, the tyranny of the majority and the violation of the fundamental rights society. This was the first reason. Another reason is what? Another reason that is important to separate religion from the state is democratic societies. Democratic societies is because we also need to protect the freedom of every person or every individual. Yes, to exit from their religion. Okay. Now see, let us take the example. Okay, let us take the practice of untouchability. If we think about the untouchability, you might feel like you dislike this practice within. Yes, you may not like the practice of untouchability. You might be dislike this practice within Hinduism. Yes, and therefore you want to try and reform it. Yes, who support the untouchability. Then do you think what do you would have an easily task to try and change this? Even if you were a part of dominant religious group, you might face a lot of resistance from fellow members of your community, of your same community. So these members who have control of state power might say that there is only one interpretation of Hinduism and that you do not have the freedom to interpret this differently.